Hello. Here to talk about Module 2. I haven't fully published it yet because it's a lot. So Chapter 2 is a very long chapter with a lot of information. Personally, when I'm taking online classes, I get very overwhelmed by seeing so many to-do things. So I've been releasing it a little chunk at a time, but I want to talk through what has been released so far and then what's going to be coming up soon. So this week, the weekly wellness is an act of kindness. So here, find an opportunity to be kind to someone else or yourself. This could look like anything, small, large. Again, if you need an act of kindness for yourself, do it. Treat yourself. Okay, Module 2 overview. So this week we are learning about measures of center or measures of central tendency, things like mean, median, and mode. We're also learning how to graph and interpret graphs of data. This includes things like histograms, box plots, things like that. So within there, we're going to also be learning about percentiles, quartiles, things like that. Towards the end of the module, what you'll see, and notice this here says, design a question that matters to you that can be answered using real data. So one of the things we're going to start working towards in this class is kind of designing your own larger investigation. So we're going to call it an investigation portfolio. But while we're going through the content in the class, you're going to be designing questions like research questions or designing experiments that kind of show that you are understanding the content we are learning because you're applying it to a situation that you're designing. So that's the motivation behind that. I will give a lot more details for that within that assignment, and I will also make a separate video so that you can refer to that there. But just giving you a heads up. Part of this is also going to be, I'll say, we're going to start learning how to calculate a lot of these values in Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. So be on the lookout for kind of some instructions on how to use those. But so when we're learning the content, we're calculating these by hand because it is very important to learn how to know these by hand. I'll say not the standard deviation or the variance. So we have tools that those take a very long time to calculate by hand if you have a large data set. But my point is in general, like mean, median, and mode, quartiles and percentiles, range, these things are all very important to know how to calculate by hand. But once we have shown that we are proficient with calculating these things by hand, we can use tools to help us calculate them. So Microsoft Excel is a tool that really, really does things very quickly for us. So I'm going to put out some videos in an upcoming page that shows you how to use Excel to calculate these things. And I will be using our data from our candy corn guesses. So we're going to learn more about how that data was distributed. We're going to learn about how to display that data. Again, kind of that's kind of my example of my investigation question, if that makes sense. So I'm using the number of candy corn guesses that we have to analyze this data and talk about quartiles, percentiles, mean, median, mode, etc., to kind of synthesize all of this information in our brains. So those videos will come out about how to use Excel to do that, and then there will also be a video where we're analyzing the data using Excel, but then also just the results from that data. So what's going on with all of your guesses? It's so exciting. Okay, so anyway, we're going to work through all of these. Progress checks along the way. I do want to remind you, I said it in my last video, some of you pointed out that specifically for progress check for section 2.2, I hadn't made the settings to where you can redo that one, but I fixed that now. Thank you so much for pointing out that I hadn't changed that. I am not trying to, make any of you panic or make you have a headache, or I don't want to make you email me to remind me of these things. I do my best to pay attention to them, but I make mistakes because I'm human. So please, please, please let me know if you notice that there's a setting wrong that you think should be changed, things like that. My last video talked through CYU discussions a lot, but I'll just say for this week, we have CYU discussions for these sections. And then so far what has been published is up through section 2.6 in our textbook. So we've talked through at least what's been published so far. We've talked through what measures of center are. We've talked through how to identify them in frequency tables and histograms. And then what skewness is and how we can talk about skewness in relation to the mean, median, and mode of a data set. So the progress check and CYU discussion have been posted for that now. And then pretty shortly here, you'll see module 2.7 open, which is section 2.7. And then you'll see those assignments open for the Excel kind of situation and the designing your own question. So again, staggering how I'm releasing these, but those will be released today. So, okay, so that is module 2. And again, the wrap up, I told you in a previous video, every module will have a module wrap up where we summarize what the module did for us. So that'll be posted as well soon. And then you can just make sure that you've covered everything, that you feel comfortable with all of the material within the module before we move on. All right, that's it for this video, and I'll be back with some more soon. But please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I'm here for you. Thank you so much. Bye.